Hello Rohit, hello everyone.
Hi,
Hello,
Ashok.
Ashok.
Hi everyone.
Uh,
Rohit, you want to give a head start or shut up?
no, you can start. You can
Uh,
start.
so, hi everyone, good evening and welcome to UiPath virtual session on UiPath Communications Mining. So, like we are in this particular session, we are going to see what UiPath Communication Mining is and where can you use it. Like there are three different areas where UiPath has their products, operate, discovery, automate. So today we are going to see where exactly it falls, what is the product about. But it's not only that. Now we have 10 series planned on different products of UiPath. So in this series, we are going to do 10 different sessions about which we will also be sharing the links. So we are going to talk about all the different products, communications mining, process mining, UiPath, DU, Action Center, apps, and many different products. So do try to attend all the sessions. They are going to happen in this week. We have 5 sessions, and next week we have 5 sessions. So for today, it is about communication mining, and our speaker is Dilip. So without wasting any time, I'll just hand over the session to Dilip, and I'll be also sharing the links of the next sessions in the chat, so you can RSVP for that. Yeah, over to you, Dilip.
Thank you, Parth. So, hi everyone, this is Talab. I work as a senior pre-sales engineer at UiPath since 3 years now. And today the topic is comms mining, as Parth was saying, right? So, before I share my screen, is everyone aware there are like three horizontals in UiPath now, which is, and today we are going to talk about like Discover horizontal, from which we'll have communication mining. So let me share my screen. And if someone can confirm that it is visible to you guys now or not.
We can see.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So every business process, right, it has communication. So every process includes communication. Otherwise, the process won't get executed, right? Customers reach out to you for some queries, or your colleagues might reach out to you or communicate with you to just get their work done, right? Each message that you receive is going to be important inside the business, right? And you have to process that. So a message received would be a problem to be solved or an opportunity to be gained, right? So that's how the business gets done. Now, while we say that, right, there are a lot of emails coming into your inbox, and what we have observed is 48% of the employee time is spent managing those email and processing those requests, incoming requests. And this incoming request can be in terms of emails or tickets or any kind of CRM task as well, or et cetera, right? And 80% of companies are not satisfied by how they're using the customer data. They want to do more with that, but they're not able to do because of uh, restrictive environment. But now there is a significant improvement in past few years using AI on automation, and that's where communication mining comes into the picture. Communication mining uses large language model, and it helps you to understand each of the customer's requirement or your colleague's requirement. It can go ahead and classify those incoming requests into the specified type and also extract the relevant data from it. And you can automate each and every of those communication that is incoming. Now, UiPath communication mining can be looked at in three different ways. It can be used in three different ways. You can go ahead and mine your communication. You can monitor the incoming communications or incoming emails. What are they getting classified into? You get a reports inside comms mining directly. Or you can go ahead and automate the incoming request as well. Now, this is how the high level architecture looks like. Now you can connect your email box or any ticketing system such as ServiceNow or Jira or anything else. Or you can also upload your CRM notes into comms mining. Now, when you're trying to connect, we create a source. Now, this source is going to once you go ahead and upload those data into the source, it is going to consume the AI units, right? Each message or each verbatim is going to consume one AI unit, and it also depends on the number of characters, how many AI units going to consume. Once you upload those data, you have to create a data set. Now, each data set can contain multiple sources, right? Now, once you have the data set, you can go ahead and connect it to specific email or tickets or service desk or CRM nodes or anything else. And you can start the training. Now, training would have like multiple phases. It depends what you want to train. If you want to train the labels, or if you want to train the entities, or if you want to train both, right? You can do that in that web portal itself. And then you have to decide, before you go ahead and do the comms mining, you have to decide whether you want to mine those communications, or you want to go ahead and monitor those communication, or you want to automate. According to that, the communication mining should be deployed for that particular process. And eventually you can connect through an API or RPA or any kind of systems down the line. Do you have any queries over this? Okay. I'll take that as no.
Excuse me, sir. Will you
Yeah,
please explain it once again? I haven't understood it.
okay. So first of all, you have to load the data, right? That's where we call connect, right? When you're trying to load your data, you can load it from your email box. You can connect your Exchange email box to the comms mining directly. You can go ahead and connect your service text, ServiceNow, Jira, or any kind of ticketing system that you have. Once you connect those source, right, you can create a data set. I'll show you how you can create that. So once you have a data set,
Okay, sir.
so once you have a data set, you can go ahead and train the model in the comms mining. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there would be multiple phases while you train the data, right? While you train the model. So multiple phases, as in you will have discover phase, you will have multiple phases in explore, right? There would be shuffle, mist, teach. I'm not going to explain all those, but yeah, I'll go through it briefly. And once you train the model, once you're satisfied with the score, you can go ahead and connect with your RPA system. Or if your use case was just to see how the business is going, how the what is actually driving your business, you can understand that as well with the reporting that is provided by comms mining. Now, this is what the typical email message would look like. This is an insurance example. So you will have a subject, you will have created date from to, and multiple metadata would be associated with those email, like message ID and the timestamp, or if it has a signature as in regards and comma and then whatever, right? Everything would be there in that metadata, right? And then there would be a body, right? Now, each of this information is understood by comms mining, and then it try to predict, right? But before it predicts something, we have to go ahead and train the model, right? So in here, if you read this email, the email is talking about the address change and name change, right? Now, when you see on the right-hand side, there is policy amendment and address change. This is the label, right? This is the intent that this particular message is talking about. And then there is like actionable data. The policy number, street, city, and zip code are the actionable data that would be required by the bot to go ahead and automate further process. To take an example, now you receive an email in the inbox. This would be taken by comms mining. It would go ahead and classify those and extract this email, extract those important data, right? Now, you know, this email is talking about address change. So you will go ahead and probably, if you want to assign this to someone, you probably some operational people, you can just go ahead and assign directly to this team and also provide this information, right? Directly in an Excel, policy number, street, city, and zip code. They can go ahead and do the changes, or you can allow bot to do this directly. Hope that is making sense. Okay, I'll take it as yes. Now there are few parameters as well, right? Now you have quality of service and tone. To give an example, if the email is very harsh, the tone is going to be in negative. The customer is sad. It is going to give you a score between minus 10 to 10, right? If it is negative, it is like customer is not happy. And if it is above 0, depends, right? How the business is interpreting that, right? So, but it is going to give you a range of tone between a range of minus 10 to 10. Now, commerce mining doesn't require any kind of coding. It is a no-code, low-code platform, and it's fully customizable, right? It depends what you want. It is not. It doesn't come as pre-trained. You have to train the model, right? And it is very easy to integrate along with the APIs, any workflow automation. You can go ahead and connect with your CRM systems directly as well, or you can use the pod to go ahead and automate any kind of process. You can also do real-time monitoring, and you can have alerts as you have in Orchestrator, right? You can go ahead and configure your alerts if some kind of threshold is breached, some kind of KPI is breached, right? You can go ahead and have those alerts inside comms mining. Now, as I was saying, right, you can go ahead and discover your business, how it is going, or you can monitor your communication that are happening on day-to-day basis, or you can just go ahead and automate. Now you have to decide this prior to the project, right? But prior to you go ahead and start your project, right? So it depends. If you want to have a discover, you might have limited labels or more labels, right? If you want to do automation, you would have like limited labels. You don't want to go ahead and have 150, 200 labels to go ahead and automate, right? You have to combine those together. So there are few nuances that we need to take care before we start the project. So that's where we decide what you want to do with this comms mining. And these are the few use cases that you can go ahead and automate in each of those sectors. Before I move to comms mining, do you have any queries? I mean, I'm going to move to the environment directly. Okay, cool. I'll take it as no.
Dilip, we have one question in the chat.
Okay.
It is from Pallavi Shirodkar. She is asking, could you please elaborate a little more on bespoke models?
And could you help me? What is bespoke? I mean, I'm not sure about that.
Pallavi, do you want to unmute yourself and ask about it? Like, if you can elaborate more on your question.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Pallavi.
Yeah, Pallavi Shirodkar this side. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
you're
can
audible.
hear you.
Yes. Please, once. I just read one sentence over there about bespoke models.
Mm-hmm. So it is going to be okay that way. Okay. So I'm bespoke models are nothing but it was like you have a customized model, right? You are going to train the model according to what you want, right? It is not coming pre-trained. You can train according to your business. Does that make sense?
Yes, that is clear.
Yeah, so that is what it is.
Okay, thank you for answering.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen again and let me know once it is visible. And hopefully it should be visible now.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So let's start with so this is how the comms mining look like. Have anyone already worked on comms mining? You can raise your hand so I can get an idea. If not, I can cover a little more.
Yeah, let's take a vote on that. How many people have worked on comms mining? Can you please raise your hands? We can just see with the chat. Okay, we have one. Anyone else? Two, Pallavi and Nishi. Three, Prashant. Yeah, Dilip. So not more, but I think there are three people who have worked on it. So
Okay. So I'll give you an idea because what the architecture that I showed, right? I'm just going to explain quickly what I was trying to say. So this is like the first page of comms mining when you reach to the comms mining page, right? But you can't directly go ahead and create data set, right? You can just click on new data set, but if you don't have source, you can't really have like data inside that data set. So initial step would be to go ahead and go into the settings and create source. Now, while you create source, right, I'm just going to go ahead and add some test.
Dilip, while you are doing that, we
Mhm.
have one more question in the chat.
Okay.
So it is from Parvati. The question is prerequisite for enabling communication mining. Is it available in cloud?
Yes, definitely. It is available in cloud. Okay, let me go from that then.
Yeah. We can
Uh,
do
okay. So I don't have admin rights. So you can just go ahead and admin specific to your tenant, go to services, and then you can enable it from there. How you enable other services, right? Orchestrator or AI center or anything else, right? That's how you go ahead and enable it.
Excuse me,
Okay.
sir. Is it present in orchestrator also? In
No. It is not available in orchestrator. I don't have admin rights, so I won't be able to show you right now. So, so I'll just mention how you can enable it on the
Also, Dilip,
admin.
one more question. Is it
Mhm.
available for community or only enterprise?
Good question, and I'm not very sure on it because I generally work on enterprise, so it's available. So not sure on community, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it is not on community, Aditya. It is on
But again, like if you are doing in community, you will require like
AI units.
AI units, right? That is mandatory. Otherwise, you won't be able to do anything on that.
Oh, it is only on enterprise edition. Nishi Sangas confirm.
Yeah, I just tried to see the communication mining in cloud. We don't have any
Yeah.
available.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, there is an option you can request for enterprise trial. So that is one option that you can do. So, but for that also you need your organization's email ID, and if you have not used it before, so if you have not used it before, you can request for enterprise trial, and maybe that is a 60 days of duration you get it, and I think you can try and explore this program.
There is one thing over here which I would like to add on. We don't get it even with the enterprise trial license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
This is not on-prem. Okay, if you're using on-prem, then it is not available on-prem. It is only on cloud.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, Dilip. Let's go ahead with your demo.
Okay, sure. So once you create source, right, you have an option to go ahead and upload your CSV file. You can select your CSV file in here, right? It automatically detects all the columns that are there, and you can select like message ID column, message column, and everything that you require. And that's how you upload your CSV file, which is going to be really easy. And there is other way that you can upload data is through integrations. You can create your integration for, I don't have any. So you can connect your Exchange email box here, and you can start pulling out the emails from your inbox to the comms mining directly rather than using through CSV. You will require all this information, and then only you will be able to do that. Any queries? Okay, I'll take it as no. So this is how you create source. Once you create
there
source,
is,
okay.
there is. It's from Saurabh. So from an infra standpoint, on premises, do we need dedicated hardware to set up for communication now?
As I said earlier, it is not available on premise, sir.
Okay, so yeah, Saurabh, there's your answer. It is not available on. Yeah, Dilip, go ahead.
Okay. So now once you create source, you can go ahead and create new data set, right? Now you will have those source available. So if I search for test, what I create, There are multiple tests. So yeah, this is what I created. You can just select that, and you can select up to like 20 sources in one particular data set. So you can select multiple sources for now. Right, I have one more which I can select. You give your name, select the project, right? And it allows you to use generative AI features. I'll explain you what is generative AI feature, but for now, let's not use it. Click on next. You can add the labels. Now, what are labels? Basically what we saw on the PPT. So if I go back, so policy amendment address change was a label. So that's what you can import here. You can import through a CSV, or you can just import from a data set. For now, I'm not going to add any. Click on next. And here you have tone analysis, quality of services, label sentiment. If you want to do any kind of, what do you say, customer sentiment analysis. And once you do that, you can hit create.
What they will do in tone analysis?
So as is, okay, again, tone analysis, it is going to give you a range of from -10 to 10, how negative or how positive the email is about, right? How the customer tone is in that email. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. What if as an organization, we are not allowed to use integration services? It's in this, how we can run it, the CSV file. So Ganesh, the question is very relevant, and we face this issue while we do POCs as well. So what we generally do is we use robots to create those CSV file. Or there is other way to go ahead and use PST. So you can export your Outlook inbox or multiple inboxes to a PST file, and then you can upload it to Comms Mining. There is a way to do that. Does that answer your question, Ganesh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still, like, I'm not sure about the CSV files.
Okay. Okay, I'll probably share this how to get a PST file to Parth, and he can share across, I guess.
Yeah, that works.
Sure,
Okay.
we can do that.
Now, once you upload the data, right, you should first go into the settings. Why? So if you have a PST file or you have done like a CSV, you go ahead and upload it, right? And then it consumes AI units. You just have to go ahead and verify if all the message have been uploaded, approximately at least, right? It should not be very less, right? So you get a message here, like how many message has been uploaded, right? And what are the number of labels, reviewed messages, proportion reviewed. You get everything in here. Once you do that, you can go ahead and upload your labels and entities required. Let me go ahead and use one of the model that I was training recently. The data is entirely fake. So here, if you're able to see, the messages are again 3095, and I have reviewed or I have trained the model on 186 messages only, right? And if I go to the validation station here, you will get a score of how well your model is performing. Okay, now the training start in this fashion. You go to the discover phase. Now, what does the discover phase do? It goes ahead and it is running an unsupervised model in the backend, which actually goes ahead and create clusters. Now, these clusters are on the basis of the messages that are having some common sentiments or common common wordings in it, right? Now, if you see these emails, all these 6 emails, they have like similar intents in this. We understand that you would like to upgrade, like this is talking about some kind of upgrade in broadband connection, and that's why they were together. Now, this helps in your, expediting your labeling, right? You can just go ahead and say, I want to add label. You select one label and apply it to all. Now, that's how you label like 6 verbatims at once, and that's how you expedite your labeling process. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does.
Dilip, a question in the chat.
Okay.
How about So from Parvati only. How about when an average score or poor score comes up?
How about when an average score? Okay, I'll answer that. Parvati, give me 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So you have to go ahead and label those 30 clusters, right? Now, how does the comms mining works in the backend? So once you tag a label 25 times, the next time it is going to go ahead and predict for the 26th message, right? This is going to be the message with a lesser confidence. It is not going to say, okay, I'm 100% confident on this is the label that is going to be applied for this particular verbatim. That is not going to happen, but it is going to try to predict at least 10% or 20% confidence, and you have to train the model eventually. Okay, so you first go ahead and start training your model on these 30 clusters. Once you are done with that, you go ahead and go in explore phase, right? In explore phase, you have multiple modes to go ahead and start your training again. You start with shuffle. Now, shuffle is going to go ahead and give you like random verbatims. When I say verbatims, each email is going to be a verbatim. So here, like, it is going to give you like 10 random verbatims, and you are going to go ahead and label those. You're going to go ahead and say, okay, this particular message is talking about admin change, upgrade bandwidth. Just go ahead and confirm this. You're going to do this for each and every of these labels, right? The interesting part in this is you can see there are like metadatas in here, right? It talks about the timestamp, as I was saying earlier, whether it has a signature, whether it has attachments, who is the sender, who is the receiver, and all these things. You have the message ID that is going to be unique for each of those emails. And this particular email doesn't have any threads, but if you see like emails that you are receiving, it will have multiple threads, right? It will have like trail messages back to back. You would also be able to see those in comms mining. Now you just go ahead and start labeling in shuffle mode. Once you're done with shuffle, you can go ahead and say, I want to teach one particular label to my comms mining. So you select one and you start to train the model on this one particular verbatim. You complete this 10 and you just go back to the shuffle mode. So you don't actually have a bias in the model. Does that making sense?
You mean shuffling means is it shuffling the verbatims?
Yeah, it means shuffling. It gives you random verbatims. It gives you random examples. It is not going to be specific to any kind of labels that we have, any specific labels. It is going to be completely random. Yeah.
How about filtering the labels and shuffling? Will that work?
Filtering the labels and shuffling. Can you just elaborate on that a little?
I mean, let's say a policy and let's say it's a renewal. Okay. The label is policy, like a parent label, and renewal is like a child. When you filter that and shuffle, will the verbatims come like that? I don't know. I'm just
No. So what I was trying to say is, now if you want to teach the model on specific label, you go ahead and click on teach. Okay, I have not clicked. You click on teach. Hope it works. Ideally, it should work. Okay, let's go to some other one.
It's showing updating.
No, that is different. I'll talk about it, but give me a sec. So once you click on teach, you can select the value that you want to train, like select the label that you want to train. Okay. These are few verbatums that it thinks where your upgrade bandwidth would be applicable. Okay. Now, just not to create bias, right? You're training this one specific example. Now you just go ahead and give me a sec. Okay, sorry. So this is going to create a bias if you go ahead and continuously train the model on this one specific label. So that's why I suggested go ahead and once you complete this 10 verbatims, you just go ahead back to the shuffle mode and train some random verbatims again, and then go back to the teach mode. So it will have some kind of it won't have bias basically towards one particular label.
Okay.
I hope that is making sense. If not, I can explain more. Now definitely you have multiple modes in this, but the best way to train is you just go to the validation station after doing some kind of shuffling, and it gives you suggestion what you want to do. It gives you it gives you the suggestions, right? How you can improve the model further. So you just click on this. It takes you back to the explore phase, and you can start training the model on that specific label now. Does that make sense?
This is when you get an average or the poor score. You can train the labels.
Yes, this is how you can go ahead and understand that you have average score here, right? It tells you that this specific label is giving that average score. So you click on here, you just go back to the explore phase. I mean, it takes you to the explore phase and you can start training the model as it is suggesting you something, and you can improve the score. Hope that is making sense to you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you have like multiple. So it tells you the balance is good, but you can just go ahead and train a random selection of message to improve the model again. Right. So it takes you the shuffle mode automatically because it's telling you like there is a good balance, but if you want excellent balance, you just have to go ahead and shuffle mode and train it again.
Giving some suggestions and recommendations.
It automatically gives you suggestions and recommendation after a certain point of time. Okay, cool. Then you have reports. So in here, once you train the model, it tells you like these are the number of messages that you have, what are the tone, quality of service, time period, right? And it tells you like, okay, there are like 71% of emails that are about policy count, then there are admin change, admin add, admin termination, and admin move, right? It tells you that you can go ahead and well again inside it. So in 71%, like 34% of it is addition, right? There are new addition of broadband services in into their business, right? Some of them are talking about renewal, like 11% is talking about renewal. There are a few termination, like some of the customers are not happy and they're trying to terminate the services. It talks about that, right? It gives you trends as well. I mean, there is complete level of reporting that you can acquire through comms mining, and you can create your own dashboard for this. And once you're done with this, you can pin the model. You can pin the model and say, okay, I want to make this model live. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and create streams. Now, creating stream is nothing but creating an API call that you can use. So if I name it like something test again, and you can click on 67, you can use this and just confirm this model. Now, you can use this name like test in UiPath Studio and start extracting those or send like a message into this, and you should be able to get the prediction out of it. Okay, I mean, that is all from my end. I see there is one question from Krishna. The data we use for training is used only in tenant, or may I know whether the tone analysis and in the same? Kind of, Parvati. So if you enable tone analysis, sentiment analysis would go off. Like there are toggles, right? So one will be on and one would be off. That's how it will work. The data we use for training. We are not using your data to train any other base model, Krishna.
So Krishna says thanks. And Okay, so yeah, I think overall it was an amazing session, and like we have shared in the other session link. So tomorrow we are going to have a session on DU Action Center and AI Center. I think this is something that many of people are working on, right? So tomorrow again it will be an interesting session, and bring up your questions that you have about DU Action Center and UiPath, and we'll be having a very interactive session. So yeah, and I think that's it from our end to one of the question. Dilip has replied in UiPath, which platforms used to create. PDD can be created using task capture. Okay, someone has already answered that. So training label and entity follow the same procedure. Yes, Parvati. How JNA helps in comms mine. Okay. I think Dilip has dropped off since I was coming to the closing of the session. I think Dilip has dropped off. But yeah, you can connect with Dilip on LinkedIn or with any of us, and we can read out your queries to him and get them answered. So if there is anything, feel free to reach out myself or Dilip on LinkedIn, and we can help you get answers to your queries. So yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the session. And I hope to see the same people and even more people in the tomorrow's session. So see you all tomorrow at the same time. May I know which products are you concentrating in the next session? So Parvati, we have planned for almost all of the products that are there. It is DU AI Action Center apps, insights, automation hub, test manager, data service, integration service, assistant, process mining, and all of it. So we have we are going to cover all of the products. So it will be fun. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and see you all tomorrow again at the same time.